And originally they actually, we had a temporary power plant set up, we were gonna start cleaning it out and all that stuff. But, it never mind.
Why did they never do Every time you would do that. Why is there not a power cooler?
Now we'll turn everything back on in time.
I mean, whatever you wanna do, then it's not call them up, and I can like give it over to this and they grade. Like I got a couple of them.
Why don't you talk a little bit about it and then I'll
There's like a delay.
Okay, that's all we're gonna do is wait. I go what? I'm gonna bring them in if it's okay. All right, thank you.
Do you remember doing one from the trailer park saying that if they moved the trailer out, they couldn't move another one? They called me today and I'm gonna ask. I'm
try to ask.
Get some fights in there and
And then also, you know, it has some kind of minimum.
you got a minimum.
No, according to lunch, I'll be a little.
It's just kind of some,
It's really, you know,
Or what they don't do.
what they don't, you know.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome all of you to the Satsuma City Council meeting for tonight, Tuesday, August the 1st, 2023. Thank all of you again for attending tonight. So the first thing we'd like to do is welcome you. The second thing is to caution you, if you've got your cell phones with you, please turn them to either off or silent so they won't interrupt our meeting. We've had some difficulties with our live stream, but I think we've got Corey here tonight trying to make sure that we are broadcasting, so hopefully that glitch we had last week will be addressed in the next couple of weeks with some renovations or upgrades we're trying to do on the internet. Tonight we will have an invocation, so in just a moment I'm going to ask you to remove your hats and stand, and then remain standing. We're going to ask Miss Allison Reese to lead us in our invocation, so stand and then remain standing for the pledge. Thank you.
Let us pray. Father God, we come to you tonight and we thank you for your many blessings. We ask that you be with those that have lost loved ones here recently. I just ask that you put your arm of love around them and comfort them during this difficult time. Lord, I thank you for all the kids in this room tonight, the softball players, the coaches, the parents and guardians. Thank you for keeping them safe during this season, Lord, and for blessing them with a great outcome. I also ask that you be with the kids that are going back to school on Monday. It's the first day of school. People are going to be out and about and busy. I just ask that you keep everybody calm and patient and put your hedge of protection around them. I also ask that you be with our first responders and keep them safe in the line of duty. All these things I ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Reese. Jessica, can we get a roll call, please?
Councilmember Little.
Present.
Councilmember Butler.
Present.
Councilmember Skelton.
Present.
Councilmember Reese. Present. Councilmember Phillips.
Here.
Mayor Barlow.
Here. Please let the record reflect that all the elected officials are here, along with the city attorney, city clerk, and all the department heads. Next thing is the approval of our agenda for tonight's meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve as distributed.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Mr. Phillips to approve the agenda for tonight. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Next thing on our agenda is the approval of the minutes, and that's the minutes from our regular meeting of July the 18th, 2023.
I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes as read.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as distributed from the July the 18th, 2023 meeting. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Also, last Tuesday night, we had a workshop where several topics were discussed or updates were given on various things going on around the city. With that being said, the minutes are in your packet here tonight. So with that being said, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from our workshop?
I'll make a motion.
Second that also.
Once again, motion made by Mr. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Little to approve the minutes from the July the 25th workshop. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, moving on to the next thing, which I think is the reason for the most of our attendance here tonight. And that is our girls 12U All-Star Softball team. And I understand that they had a real good season and represented our city very well. So with that being said, Coach, how about you coming up perhaps, and if you would, and Ms. Reese can step down, and perhaps you can give us just a little bit of information on what your team did this year, and show off your trophies and kind of give us a little information.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And thank you for the city council for inviting us here to recognize our ladies here for their accomplishments. This is our 12U league. And I'll start off, I'm Coach Jason Cunningham. I got my other coach, Billy Van Norman. You gotta come up here. Coach Rob George. And so what I'll do is I'll call each lady up here and kind of give you their position and whatnot, if they had any special recognition. So we'll start off with Lily Cunningham. Lily Cunningham, she's one of our pitchers and our shortstop. Lily was voted our defensive MVP player of our area tournament, which we placed second in it. Sydney Cunningham. Sydney Cunningham is one of our second basemen and center fielders. That's Miss Maylee Jackson. Maylee Jackson is another one of our second basemen and center fielders.
It's like key students.
I do have a couple of ladies that weren't able to make it, but Reese Phillips is not here. Reese Phillips is, Reese is our catcher, but Reese is identified by many coaches and multiple umpires as the #1 catcher in our entire league. And that says a lot. It really does. Reese was voted MVP defensive player for our pre-area 2. So if you'll hold on to that,
Yeah,
we'll get it in just a little bit. Kimberly Van Norman. Kimberly is one of our right fielders, and she does play first base for us too. Miss J.C. Davidson. J.C. is one of our versatile players. J.C. is one of our pitchers, and she primarily plays our first base. Miss Olivia George. Olivia George is our third baseman, and she ended up getting the trophy for pre-area 2, wasn't it? Yep, pre-area 2. Kinsley Moore. Kinsley Moore is another versatile player. She plays our primary left field. Alyssa Belonge. Alyssa is one of our right fielders. Bianca Bertelli. Bianca is our center fielder and one of our power hitters. Miss Bella O'Day. Miss Bella is one of our left fielders. I have 3 girls that during our All-Stars season that we ended up picking up from our 10U group. I'm sorry, and I'll get to you in just a second, baby. Let me go ahead and do yours first. This is our primary and #1 pitcher we have, Miss E.B. Edmonds. And Miss E.B. ended up getting the trophy. We won first place for our All-Stars warm-up tournament in Sims. She received the trophy for that one. It's the blue one. These other 3 here, ladies here, we ended up picking up from our 10U group, which our 10U division had a phenomenal season. And to start off, Miss Clara Brewer. Miss Clara Brewer, she is our 10U #1 pitcher. Matter of fact, probably the only pitcher that we had in 10U. She received the defensive MVP award for our pre-area 2, wasn't it? Area tournament. Miss Macy Cunningham. Miss Macy, she's one of our outfielders. And the other one is Miss Ava Stacy. She wasn't able to make it. But Miss Ava, we picked her up from our 10U league in Satsuma. She was one of our outfielders and one of our versatile players. I also have, and not to be biased at all, but probably the best bat boy in the world here. My son Cole has been with these girls since they've all started, or ladies since they've started. And I want to thank everybody, especially the Satsuma community, for helping sponsor us and when we did our fundraisers for our World Series, because it would not have happened without our community during our bucket drops or donations and whatnot. our president of our park, Kyle Rutsky, and his wife, Miss Tina, they have helped out tremendously for us. But again, thank y'all very much in helping these girls succeed. This is this big trophy here for our World Series. This is the first time in history that these young ladies in this league has ever brought it back to Satsuma. So in my mind, that's a footprint. That's all I got.
Do you want any of the other coaches to come up and?
Yeah, if they, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then, when
Billy.
y'all finish speaking, then we can move the podium out, then we'll all get pictures.
I gotta say something. You gotta say something.
All right, I'll say something. I haven't had these girls, they really fought hard and really did a real good job of representing the city itself. Thank you. I'm just ready for the season to start again, so we'll see.
Hey, last thing that, Billy, he wasn't really able to be with us the entire time. He is, one of our Coast Guards. He's an officer in the Coast Guard, and he has to go out, pretty often and wasn't able to make a lot of the games, but hey, we really appreciate your service, man, and we love you to death.
Just put that behind you,
So we should probably stand.
and then y'all can stand back here.
I was thinking.
Y'all may have our long string them up.
Well, I got here anyway.
Y'all can kind of split the big one. So one stand on one side or the other.
Again, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
We're proud of you.
You wanna come up to y'all two here?
Yeah, I guess so. Macy, Cole, y'all squat in front of Bianca and Bella. Get on one knee. Get on one knee. Cole, get on the other. Hey, Macy, scoot over here. Closer to the trophy and kneel like this. Cole, can you kneel? It can. Come on, won't take but a second.
They can understand.
Could they stand up? Y'all stand up. Y'all be tall enough to stand up. Y'all ready? Everybody look. Hey, Cole, Cole.
Who am I looking at? Not good, look. Just look at the wall. Y'all love pictures.
Thank you, pal. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us, appreciate it.
Let's shake hands.
And this is for the, two who weren't here.
Oh, man, it's a whole life for me to bring you, a whole life.
Good job.
Hey, y'all go around and fist bumps or shake your hand or.
Good job. Proud of y'all. You have a good career. Thank you. Appreciate you coming.
Thanks for having us. This was awesome. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Maybe y'all can come back and see us again next year with some more trophies like that. Great. Thank you. Real proud of them. We'll give them just a moment to clear out. Somebody, is that your phone? Okay, make sure one of them didn't leave it. I don't think we have anybody else coming, so that's fine. Thanks again, Coach Cunningham. We want to see you back here again next year with more of those.
I'll be here till I die. We love it that much, so.
Yeah, that's good. It shows.
He's one of the first ones out. What's it all about?
Okay, everybody, ready for us to get back to business? Moving on from recognitions to visitors. We had one visitor in the pre-council meeting. It was Miss Shannon Wood to request the use of the pavilion area of Steel Creek Lodge on August the 19th for a brim fishing tournament. She provided the details in our pre-council. I think the council all agreed that the use of that outdoor area would be granted for the group. Do we need to make that in form of a motion, letting them have that, or just you think, since it was not really asking us to?
The fishing and
Yeah.
everything, I just do a motion and let them do it, I guess.
Okay, I mean, that, I guess would show everybody's agreement, but there was no opposition, so. Somebody want to make a motion to grant the use of the pavilion area on that day for?
I make the motion.
Motion made by Ms. Reese, seconded by Mr. Skelton to grant Ms. Wood the use of that facility for the morning of August the 19th. I think they said from around 4 a.m. to approximately 12 noon, when it would conclude the weigh-in. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay, good. Now, are there any other visitors to come before the council? Okay, well, we'll go into our regular order of business. Most of my things tonight are routine business and update y'all on what we're doing. The first thing we started with was, once again, we've seen a high number of deaths here in our community from some of our longtime residents. First, Mr. Ed Driver, Mr. Tommy Bailey, Ms. Ross, Mr. Jay Broom, who was a former resident of Satsuma, and also Mr. Sammy Pitts with Pitts and Sons Records. Anybody been in police or fire work out here in the last 40 years, I think, knows him. So I think he had a very nice service also. We did discuss the Sharpsy van, and hopefully by next Tuesday night when we have our workshop, we won't be talking about it where it's at, but it will be parked here is what my hopes are. The dog park is scheduled to start the first phase of digging out on the 21st. All these things are weather dependent here in this month we got coming on. The library, from the company we gave the bid to, said that they will start the work, weather permitting, again next week at some point. The chapel is progressing on. Also, the Satsuma Community Center, hopefully 2 weeks from today, we'll reporting that work is underway. Go Mesa, as I told y'all earlier, is now being advertised for completion by McElhaney. So Goodwill Mills and Kaywood has advised us of that. Also, the requested payment, which will not be the final, but I guess we'll have one additional payment, which is what they call it, the whole back retainage. And so we will owe that, but we owed $116,000. I think there was only about $94,000 left in our Go Mesa account. So I asked her just to move it over from the general fund. So we should have money to do that. I guess we'd all agree for the small amount we moved from that. Any problem there? Okay. Like I said, I'm just reminding everyone that school will be starting next week, so there'll be some precautions made for that. The 3rd Street project, I'll give you a little more details next week, but basically the study that the council authorized or accepted 3 years ago, we are starting to put a task order out for that. So once that goes to bid, we will look at what type of time frame they're looking at as far as doing the work, and what the cost will be, so we can work with the school system and find out about how we wish to pay for the project. Like I said, we got our football ad this afternoon, so I can get with any of you who want to look at that before we leave. We are still working with Jay and the police department regarding some ordinances for Steel Creek to prevent some of the usage of things that we've kind of encountered since we've done the upgrades, the riding of the bicycles or skateboards or any of that kind of stuff on the piers, and people blocking the boat ramps and such as that we've had problems with on those crowded days.
And why can't you ride your bicycle on it?
Where they're riding their bikes, sliding their tires, and those type of things, and it's really not, whenever they ride all the way around, the part that goes around the walk is not really conducive.
It's not in the park, it's on that pier. They're riding it on that pier.
Yeah. I used to ride my bike on the pier.
But we don't need some of our seniors walking around the
Oh, I mean, you don't run
area
into
and-
people, no, but
and them riding bicycles in that area, so that's my
just
fault.
pretend like you don't see me if I'm out there.
Okay. Y'all got some budget information that Jessica and Vicki worked very hard to get for you tonight, so you might want to look over that. We just got that today. Remind everyone, we have a Board of Adjustments and a Planning Board meeting scheduled Thursday night, so I think there may be some questions asked regarding some of our zoning regulations and some of that at that time, so might want to put that on your calendar to come up and keep that in mind. I reminded y'all that we're still progressing on the sidewalk project that we're working on. We're hoping that'll be out to bid in the not-too-distant future. Also, the road work, which we did give the low bid on that. They did ask for some time to start that project, said they real busy right now. That was Pine City. We'd discussed the other night, but like I said, time kind of ran out on us, and we're going to go a little further for the workshop that we discussed in our pre-council meeting next Monday night. If you got some topic that you want, please let us know. Give us time to prepare or get whatever information that we may need to answer any questions. We really need to discuss the options available to us on garbage trucks. Garbage trucks are just about like the police cars and the public works vehicles we've been looking for. It ain't almost what we can do now, or what we want to get. It's what can we get, or what they have in stock. Because, I mean, we've thought 2 or 3 times we were buying vehicles, only to come to find out that they were unavailable. So we wanted to talk about the garbage truck, also the fire grant, and some small expenses that will be associated with accepting of the grant. Like I said, ordinances that may pertain to, I'd said Steel Creek, but I guess it could be any of the parks in certain areas and some of those things, instead of just limiting it to one. But also any notes that you might want to get started on our budget, because we really need to move a little bit, get some information in August if we're going to present something in September. That being said, that's all I have for tonight. Mr. Little, Public Services.
You're talking about the garbage trucks again. We done some regular maintenance on those in the last couple of weeks. Put tires on the trucks, on the two trucks. Also, we did get a person hired with CDLs in that department, and we're starting to train them now, or her now. Also, I'll give the senior report. We still have a dozen or so people that meets on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. And like you said, the painting, that's set up, and the seniors know that the community center will be unavailable, and that'll be from like August the 13th to August the 25th for the painting. The Meals on Wheels program delivered 780 meals this month. We're now serving 39 clients per month. Our older van that we was using is down now, and we're continuing to make that happen, and we're using our Public Works transport van to get those taken care of until we can get our other van in. But as far as our inspection department, it is busy at this time. I think that's enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Little. Mr. Butler, Public Safety.
This morning, we went to the Satsuma school boards and the teachers this morning, and the Friends gave breakfast for everybody. I think McDonald's gave biscuits and stuff like that. But there was a lot of people there. I mean, it was packed, and they did a good job, so I thought it was good for that. And also, we got a letter for Chief Waits, and he got a grant for the Department of Homeland Security. It's for the Assistance to the Firefighters Grant. And the amount of the check is $195,000, $648.80. And for all of this equipment that we have, they're for the SCBAs and hoses for the fire trucks, and also for the breathing air compressors, you know, and he did a lot of work with that, and I appreciate with you, Chint, for all of that. And also on the fire department for the month of July, we got calls for service. We got 73. For the medical calls, we got 45. Fire calls, we got 5. For the vehicle accidents, we got 3. Mutual aid given, we got 3. Mutual aid received, 1. And we got other calls is 6, and for overlapping calls is 4. And also in the police department, for the month of July, we got calls for the service. We got 507 calls. Felony cases, we got 8. Misdemeanor cases, 62. Felony arrest, 4. Misdemeanor arrest, 27. Accidents, we got 4. Citations is 60, and calls for the last month was 547 calls. And I think that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. Moving on to administration, Mr. Skelton.
I don't have anything.
Moving on from Mr. Skelton, Ms. Reese with Parks and Recreation.
Yes, sir. I was informed that Curtis has installed a new stop for pedestrians on Riles and Juniper. I guess, is that like a flashing light possible thing that they put?
Stop for pedestrian sign.
A sign? Okay. Okay, great. Thanks. And then also that they cleared bushes at the community center. So it looks like community center's getting kind of like a refresh, restart. And then also they power washed the gazebo at Steel Creek. And that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Reese. Moving on to Public Works, Mr. Phillips.
Mayor, I was sitting here reading through the list that what Public Works done the last 2 weeks, and it's kind of like that movie, you know, where the guy wakes up every morning, starts over and does the same thing every day. That's kind of what we're in right now, because every day it's cutting grass, cleaning ditches, weed eating, and Travis, we appreciate the job y'all doing, because we know it's hot out there. And they're keeping it all in line right there. And the radar signs, was that on Hartley you was talking about?
Oh, no, it was said Riles and Juniper.
Okay, also the radar signs came in for Hartley and Baker Road. And,
They haven't been installed yet, though, have they?
no,
Just
but
got
they're
to.
here. And Mayor, also while we was talking about they was finishing up with Steel Creek Lodge, has anybody looked at the little bit of electrical that's left as far as the fans and the outlets right there in that area? I know we talked about it.
Travis, you been able to make any headway on that?
Yeah, I'm waiting on, Mr. Landry to give me a call back.
Okay, so they're already looking at that.
We'll reach out to multiple electricians, so we can get a scope of work for the fans, some lights going around the.
Yeah, would you like me to write that scope of work for you?
Yes, sir.
I'll do that for you. That way I can put a little bit more in there than what the mayor wants to spend. That's all I got, Mayor.
Okay, we went through that pretty quickly on the mayor and council items. Next is items for discussion and/or consideration. First is A, payment of the bills.
Make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $114,388.05.
I'll second.
On a motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Mr. Phillips, we'll pay the bills in the amount of $114,388.05. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
B, discussion and consideration to set a public hearing to abate nuisance at 134 Woodland Avenue. DeWitt, I meant DeWitt, I was, good.
I'll make that motion, we just didn't get the date.
I'll second.
Set a public, when we gonna set the public hearing for, George? Mr. Little pointed out, we gotta set a date and time. Will that give you adequate time to post it and make us comply? So,
6:45.
that's right, sounds good to me. So that will be 6:15, 6:45?
On the 15th.
Yes, sir.
That's the motion I'll make.
I'll second.
A motion made by Mr. Little, seconded by Mr. Phillips. We will set a public hearing for the said property at 134 DeWitt to be held at 6:45 PM at our next council meeting, which is scheduled for August the 15th, 2023. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. All right, we'll make sure that the property gets posted and we comply with everything that's required. Moving on from that to resolutions, ordinances, orders, and other business. A, declaration of emergency for property located at 5656th Street in Satsuma, Alabama.
I'll put that in the motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Butler, to make a declaration, emergency declaration for said property at that location. And I think that property has been brought before the council numerous times, and everything is in order for that to take place. Is that correct?
It is. It's actually a declaration from the business inspector, building inspector, excuse me. And it meets the requirements of emergency that can go ahead and start the process of demolition. And as you pointed out, it's been condemned a couple of times in the past, and for whatever reason, wasn't torn down.
Do we have to bid that demolition out being it's under the $40,000, or can we just hire somebody?
It's the city's choice of how they want to do it, and then they recoup the cost. We'll get George will do an affidavit of cost. We can do it in-house if we want to, or you can bid it out to someone to demolish it and charge it back to the property. It'll come back to the council again, and then y'all vote to put it on the tax bill after we pay it.
Okay. That answer your questions?
No, I was still curious, do we have to bid it, or can we just hire
George, I mean,
somebody?
the city can do it with our people without bidding it. If you want to do that, you don't have to do like.
I don't think
a
our
written-
people can tear that down.
You just need to get several bids from people. It doesn't have to be a formal process that you open bids and
Okay.
do all that.
I was just trying to figure out the quickest way to do it.
We could write something up and get at least 3 bids. That should satisfy. If we can get 3 bids right now.
That's what I was wondering, could we just?
One of the bids will come from I spoke to the gentleman that's been handling, chicken sauce. They just tore 6 of them down.
Great.
It'll be one.
We'll trust the two of you to stay on top of that, make sure that
Yeah.
we are.
And after this, we can act on that.
Yeah, he can go ahead and start the process. There's a 45-day wait that he's got to post it, said it's fixing to be torn down.
Okay.
And then he can be getting the bids on that in the process.
4 to 6 day, take it down.
Yeah.
It'll be roughly 60 days before you do it, but yes.
And a request that a, police officer be present.
I would think that would be a good idea.
That's a good idea.
On a motion made by Mr. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Butler, all in favor of the emergency declaration that said property on 6th Avenue, signify by aye. Aye. Opposed. Once again, we have a declaration of emergency at 110 DeWitt Avenue in Satsuma, Alabama. Somewhat similar.
I'll put that in the motion.
Once again, a motion was made by Mr. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Butler for the declaration of an emergency at 110 DeWitt Avenue. There's no further discussion. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay, I've kind of mentioned it to you. Hopefully, y'all have taken time to go by and look at the Public Works Building at the trash ramp and at the old facility upstairs here. And all the department heads have been clearing out. We've been getting rid of old vehicles that's unused any longer. A couple of seized vehicles the police department's had for years. Things that was just no longer needed. So with that being said, they've actually raised a pretty good little bit of money just on stuff that's been sitting around. Where are we at now on that roughly? And then hopefully with the sale of these others, that'll put us well over that. So I was just happy to get rid of it. So to actually be getting the kind of money is good. But with that being said, Resolution 2023-08-1 authorizes the City of Satsuma to dispose of unneeded personal property.
Second.
Motion was made by Mr. Little, seconded by Mr. Skelton. Any further discussion?
All these items will be posted on Gov Deals.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I should have said that. All the items to be posted for sale. That's where all of those have sold so far at this point. If some of those do not sell or are not picked up, we may have a small auction. I don't think the city's had one in multiple years, but whatever's left over that we may need to get rid of, or it's no longer worth us storing or keeping, or, you know, we don't like to have just one lawnmower or one weed eater of type. We'd like to keep several of the same type, so our blades and belts and everything we're buying are for multiple use. Okay, with that being said, I don't think I called that for a vote, did I? The last one, we discussed it whenever we put it up for the resolution, made by Randy, seconded by Mr. Skelton. All right, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed. We have gone over everything tonight that I know of projects that we have going, and we have several that are either underway and or will be started very soon. Hopefully the weather will cooperate with us. Here in just a few weeks, we're going to be having our football team back out there on Friday nights, and school starts on Monday again, so let's encourage everybody to be safe during those times. As far as I know, we have covered all the business that was to come before the council tonight, so if there's no further.
I didn't see the Parks Operations Coordinator on the Personnel Board website. Have they already closed that?
No, it's still open. I'm not sure why.
I haven't seen it on their website or on their Facebook page.
Tell you what I'll do. If you'll send me a text tomorrow, remind me, I'll call and find out if it's a problem or why it hasn't been.
Okay.
Actually was dated to close yesterday.
Okay. But it should have posted if it's fixing to close. She said that.
It did post. It was on there, and it was dated to close last night at 11:59. It's right under the one for Mobile County for the coordinator.
I don't see it on my end yet, but my login's different,
Okay.
so I don't see it yet.
Okay. You don't see it, that it closed or that you, okay, but
I
you
see
did
that.
see it?
That's
Okay.
open.
Okay, good. I just couldn't find it.
Apparently there's a problem because they told us a couple of weeks ago, when we voted to open it, we were going to be open the next day.
Okay. I didn't know if y'all had had any bites on it or calls or,
I haven't received any at this point.
I can't see it until it closes.
okay. All right.
She asked any calls. I haven't had anybody inquire, but hopefully somebody has. We wouldn't know at this point from them. That being said, we've addressed all the business before the council.
Second.
Motion and second, we adjourn. Thank y'all for attending tonight, and we will see y'all, most of y'all, Tuesday night.
I went all the way through it.
8 minutes.
I didn't even post it on Facebook. I mean, that's what I've been sitting here scrolling through to see. It's not not on this side, it wasn't in the, search on the website. They did have a city of Mobile. Parks and Recreation.